when I do my thumbnails and video titles and stuff like that, they can be inflammatory. I know. But it's hard out there. It's hard to get people's attention. But there's some new news that just came out that essentially confirms that Anthony Fauci, at least in my opinion, should be in prison. As we now know as a fact that the safe and effective thing that we were told everyone should get took the lives of at least 10 children. Leave a like on the video right now if you agree that Fauci should be in prison. 10 children, at least, passed away from the jab. You know, the people who were the least affected by that sickness? I don't know the exact number, but I'm going to guess that less than 10 kids died from the disease. Do you think that that's, I don't know the total number. I suppose you would have to define what a kid is, but lock up Fauci right now. And that doesn't include all the problems that they're probably going to have for the rest of their life. FDA claims that the COOF jab took the lives of 10 kids and now vows new jab rules. Wow, thanks for doing that. Wow.
Without evidence that COVID shots are linked to at least 10 children's deaths and vowing new vaccine rules because of it. In an internal memo obtained by NBC News, the director of the FDA's vaccine division, Dr. Vinay Prasad, alleges no fewer than 10 deaths reported to the agency between 2021 and 2024 were related to the COVID vaccine.
No.
It appears 10 deaths of children from the COVID shot. We're going to make that information available. Those cases were reviewed.
The memo did not include the children's ages or medical history, did not identify the vaccine.
So what the news is doing is running cover immediately by saying, you know, and to be fair, you know, in all accuracy, this memo did in fact not include any evidence. Now this guy is, you know, kind of in a position to know the truth, you know, to generally know that. The director of the FDA's jab division told agency staff in a memo that an internal review found at least 10 kids did not survive it before and after because of receiving the jab. The 3,000-word memo obtained by NBC News was written by Dr. Vinay Prasad, director of the FDA's Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research. And he claims that agency staff determined that no fewer than 10 of the 96 passings reported to the Jab Adverse Event Reporting System, or VAERS, between 2021 and 2024 were, of course, related to the jab. He said the true numbers could be higher, accusing the agency of ignoring safety concerns for years. The memo sent Friday did not include the children's ages or medical histories, timelines or documentations for their passings. He references and does not identify the manufacturer of the jab. The FDA findings have not yet been published in a peer-reviewed journal. So basically everyone's saying, definitely everybody's saying, well, we're covering our rear ends. And I think that that's reasonable. Quote unquote experts are pushing the back. Now, by the way, just to say, the number of this VAERS system or whatever, what percentage of that, once you extrapolate that out, is 10, right? Some people say it's as few as 1%. I don't know. I'm sure it's a very low percent of the total. So once you extrapolate that 10 could be hundreds or even thousands. Now, experts who reviewed the memo say it's misusing information in the system, an unverified reporting system that allows anyone, including doctors, patients, and caregivers, to submit entries about adverse events they believe that are linked to the jab. The system's own website warns that submissions can contain inaccurate, incomplete, or biased information. Sure, okay. I think probably all reports are like that, right? All reports can obtain, bad information. This is sort of science by press release, said Dr. Paul Offit, a pediatrician and the director of the Jab Education Center at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, calling the memo irresponsible and dangerous. This is a profound revelation, Prasad wrote in the memo. For the first time, the US FDA will acknowledge that the jab have taken the lives of American children. Now, I don't know if you know this about me, but I believe that the jab was responsible for hurting my dad's own health. I have no evidence of that. But I don't, I'm not stating it as fact for everybody. I'm saying I believe my dad, had health problems related to that. But I also believe that he took it because he was immunocompromised and, he was very sick. And if he didn't, he weighed his odds, his risk, it wasn't like he was a healthy 10-year-old kid, Prasad suggests that the children, it was all tied to myocarditis and inflammation of the heart. Now, again, we don't know, right? But I think if we use the Candace Owens system, we don't know, but we know. An HHS spokesperson did not immediately respond. Now, here is, thanks to Dr. Fauci, millions of kids got the jab. Dr. Fauci and the human garbage Obama are seen below recommending that kids get the jab because they're safe and effective. Now, I wonder how many of these adults actually got it. How many of these adults actually got it? Now, I want to share this Adam Carolla clip where he talks about it. Now, I will caution you, there is some harsh language. And so I'm sure that the YouTube gods will look disapprovingly on this video on the topic. So I'll take this chance to remind everybody, we have 75 of the Trump Cookbook trio packs left. Everybody who pre-ordered shipped today, and there were 75 left at thequartering.com/shop. I even marked them down for Cyber Monday. So you can pick yours up right here, thequartering.com/shop before they sell out. Now here's what Adam Carolla had to say.
New director of the Food and Drug Administration's vaccine division told his agency in a staff memo that an internal review found that at least 10 children died after and because of receiving the COVID vaccine.
Well, look, if they were healthy, then that's more kids than died of COVID while healthy. It's all the kids. It's all back to the kids. Every road's to the kids.
That's how they use, think of the kids has been behind some of the most sinister things mankind has ever done. And this is no different. Now, I am not anti-jab, okay? I think everyone should do what's good for themselves, or talk to their doctor, figure out, hey, this is what I should be doing for my own health. I had my concerns about this particular one, about the COOF one, and I chose not to take it. And I got the COOF at least once that I know of, maybe twice. Survived both times. Never ended up in the hospital, but that doesn't mean people didn't die from it. And that doesn't mean that there aren't people out there who got it because they had other health problems and they figured it was right for them. Just so everyone knows where my personal position is. I didn't get it. My wife didn't get it, but neither of us are doctors. And I don't judge people who did. Some people, they try to make the best decision they can with the information that they have.
Kids. That's all they did was the kids. That's all they did was scare dumb mamas. Dumb mamas controlled the house, and dumb mamas became their foot soldiers and did their fucking bidding. So it's basically like you go, look, what do you want? You go, well, I want everyone to not take ivermectin and not take hydroxychloroquine and get vaccinated and stay in and shelter in place and wipe everything out with Purell. You are not going to get that done with me. You will get it done with a dumbass wife.
Yep.
You poison her brain and you get to her, and then she inflicts. She is the disciplinarian. She lays down all the rules, the COVID rules at the house, right?
Correct.
And the way you get her is you scare her about kids. That's what works with her. So kids. If they had just said at the beginning of this, it doesn't really appear to harm healthy kids. It just doesn't. It just doesn't seem to have, it's like maybe a flu or a cold to a healthy young person. So it doesn't really seem to affect kids. It would have been a totally different trajectory.
I agree.
We wouldn't have shut the schools down. We wouldn't have shut society down. If they had
never shut the
told
schools
us
down.
what they knew about kids, then we would have gone a different direction. But they never did. They never did. They wouldn't, because they held that. They guarded that information, and they guarded that information because once you let the kids off the danger hook, like if you said, it doesn't appear to really be dangerous to healthy kids, then every mom in the world would have stopped
She's not going to get it. Correct. Then the moms wouldn't have got it, and then they wouldn't have been able to say you're going to kill grandma, and they're not, all of the stuff hinged on think of the kids.
All the retarded edicts they put before her. And that's where we got. And that's why the dumb moms got the fucking kids vaccinated and it was totally unnecessary for them.
Absolutely.
And now it's dangerous. Thanks, moms. Yeah. Great job. Next time, ask a fucking question, would you please, before you light your Fauci candle? Fucking dumb shits.
Yeah. You know what's great? It reminds me of, remember Jimmy Dore's bit about buying a car? That was like one of the best bits ever. I probably won't find it, but like, it was like doing your own research, do your own research when you buy a car, but not this. This is what like endeared me to Jimmy Dore.
Tried to get informed about that. Other people shame them. They would say, please tell me you're not going to do your own research. You've heard people say that. Please don't do your own research. Before COVID, doing your own research used to be called reading. Now you're shaming me for reading? At the behest of Big Pharma? It's like I woke up in the middle of a Bill Hicks bit. Well, looks like we got ourselves a reader.
Yeah.
Tell me, boy, what you reading for?
That's not a young Jimmy Dore. This is Jimmy Dore in like 2020-ish? 2022?
Don't you know everything that needs to be readed's already been readed by a smart person? That's how much people internalized the propaganda from Big Pharma, was that they would be anti-intellectual enough to shame people for reading while they're wagging their finger at them for doing it. You would never shame people for trying to get informed, no matter what other subject it was, no matter how unimportant. Like if I say, hey, I'm gonna go buy a car. Don't look into it.
Right? Yeah.
Well, how will I know which car to get? Ask the salesman. He's the expert.
One of the best all-time bits. And it's just so true. Fauci for prison today.